from my point of view, it really started in your kitchen, the whole thing. Because like this table, your table in the kitchen tends to be the leaping off place for a lot of the things that we've all done.
The project started, people seem to leave out, with Bernie Clark and his idea for a film.
That was the original premise, was that we were going to make one chandelier. We were going to do a quick hit, as few people as possible, and go on to the next venue.
Each Chihuly Over Venice venue had a factory with its unique characteristics that determined how people would work and the intensity and the closeness and the dynamics.
Maybe you could look at Chihuly Over Venice as being a way to rekindle some internal fires, some dynamic. Throw the dice. It's a huge crapshoot. I mean, a giant crapshoot.
I think I wanted to come here first and foremost because of the water and the architecture. I mean, look out at this canal. There's the architecture, the history, and the fact that I was here 28 years ago as a student out in Murano.
Why don't you tell me about your latest installation, Chihuly Over Venice, what you've done over there?
It was a collaboration and a teamwork and a goodwill project and a way to show everybody that glass isn't limited to being inside, that glass can be outside.
And we're going to 5 countries. The first country was Finland, the second country is Ireland, and the last country is going to be Venice. And we're going to make large chandeliers.
And then to hang these chandeliers, you know, in and around the canals of Venice.
Chihuly Over Venice is one of the biggest projects, I think, that's ever been done. I can't think of another artist in the last couple of decades that's actually tried to do something this large and in so many different places with so many different people.
Nuttiarvi, 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 nuttiarvi.
The village of Nuttiarvi is probably the last or the only extant model of what was known as the forest glass house. But for thousands of years, glass has been sort of a carefully guarded secret. And what they would do is they would go up to a forest area and use the idea of building a glass factory as a way of cutting down the trees and opening up the land for pasture and for agriculture. And all the village people would work at the factory or in the lumbering operations. At Nuttiarvi, I understand there's about 400 people still live in that village, and most of them are employed by the glass factory. Originally, the idea was to just have a couple of American glassblowers come, and I think as the project got bigger and bigger, at first it was just 2 teams in the hot shop, and then it became 3 teams, and then Dale wanted to be sure he had enough people, so he started bringing in more and more blowers.
Look what it does to the color.
And then as the blowers were going to be able to make more work, they needed more installers. As more and more installations were becoming possible, we needed more and more people to photograph, to film, coordinate, feed, drive. You know, the whole thing just got bigger and bigger.
What's interesting is that you can make something that's never been made before. You're making something that no one's ever seen, no one ever thought of, and has power.
Good.
I like to give the gaffer as much slack as I can. The better they are, the more slack I want to give them. But I'm always also really concerned that we tune it as quickly as possible because we don't want to lose a half a day's work here when we're only here for 7 days.
I want you to be able to really think about this form.
We got to get it tuned up right away, get that figured out. It didn't take us long this morning. It took us about an hour to get onto a new shape that I wanted to make and get it figured out how to do it.
The gaffer is basically the person who takes the piece back and forth, makes the ultimate decisions about the shape and form and how the bits and pieces are put on. So the gaffer is really the one in charge with the hot glass. Dale's relationship to all of that is he's sort of the producer, the director, the Cecil B. DeMille.
The notion of the maestro certainly applies to the way Dale works. There's no doubt about it. We've had Gallet and Lalique are the only other glass artists, and Tiffany too, I should say, that have even done anything close to this. And then when you get into painting and sculpture throughout the Renaissance and now, it's the only way you can work on this scale.
One down, 499 to go. It's okay.
Dale's work is, a lot of the times, is basically charting new ground. I mean, you have a material that has a history of, say, 5,000 years. Glassblowing's been around for 2,000 years. And Dale's the first one that comes along and decides to play with the properties and the fluidity of the glass and let it go off center.
The type of work that I like to make has to do with, the human breath going, and then very few tools, and then the heat to open it up, and the fire, heat, fire, breath, all natural things. So, but if you let it go and you can blow it and work it, then the shapes, and this is a perfect example that we didn't know exactly what Martin could do with this shape. We started this yesterday with Unto gathering, and I wanted the ends to have a nice end with the crystal. We decided to make them black, and then we decided whether to put the silver on them. But the silver leaf really screwed the blowing up. I mean, it would work fine as soon as we stopped the silver leaf, then the shape started to happen. And when you blow like this, you got to stop a minute. And then if you blow again, it moves this way. And you stop and heat it we could use the torches. So if you blow just once, it will just go. So you got to stop the blowing to change the shape. And that's how and then a few of them, we heated it up and sucked it in. So that's the one thing I said that they could use as a torch.
One like that's for sure going to go up the other way, so you can keep that in mind. The other ones, you have big puffy things here. Right. Well, we're getting more complex forms. I know, so that's going to go upright.
Dale has a unique way of working. First, he starts off with drawings, which sort of give a sense or a spirit of what the work is supposed to be. And Dale, having worked with a lot of these specific glassblowers for certain lengths of time, they pretty much already know what Dale wants. And it's sort of this trust and space that he gives the glassblowers that is creating some of the new ideas and new work.
Now, get these guys over here. We'll talk about this. Let's put a neck on them. So, in the optical mold,
to explain somebody something, you got to make a visual statement. Verbal is not enough.
And I'm talking big. We'll do a grande chandelier. Okay. So we go.
So this man can really draw. He has incredible velocity, great hand. So you got to have both the brain and the hand. It comes from here and comes out from here.
But big cobalts. We ready?
And those guys gathered and gathered and gathered. I'd say about like 30 pounds of glass each time, piece after piece, and it was their vacation, and they had no idea what they were getting into. And we worked them harder than they work in Finland. By the 5th day, though, they were totally into it. Like, everyone let go and saw that something really special was happening.
Nothing like this has ever happened. To be making glass and be so happy and in such a mood and work together and have people from different places working together, just great.
All right. It's a funny color, this turquoise. Up and out of the cache. Time to take a little swim. That's it. You've been waiting a long time. Now you're going down. Down, down, down. And also, I wouldn't mind, we'll load up these belugas tonight and put them in that boat. Because that'd look a lot nicer if the boat were full. Here comes Russell. Yeah, if we had a series of these excuses on film, it would be a nice sequence on the film.
Termination due to exhaustion.
This one about, I didn't hear the alarm ring.
Well, what is that? $1 late and a nickel short, or what is it? In Finland, I've never seen him so wound up and so energized with such passion. He had the energy of, I think, at least 10, 12, 15 people, and he slept very little.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 3, 3, 3. Russell's ready. And 3. Wow.
As the pieces were coming out of the lyre, there were installations going up as the work was being created, and I think that made a difference in this trip. That helped him, energized him in a way to see the pieces out in the field hanging, seeing things going up, and then kind of dictating or creatively fashioning pieces to go into another installation.
Just think speed. Okay. I really want to get this done.
All right, I'll put a green one under the bridge.
All right, and then when you get the green ones done, we're going to photograph it being put into the water. We're going to float the chandelier parts down. Then we'll put them up on the other chandelier. When we hung a chandelier from under the bridge, we're taking it from the bridge into the boat. I mean, any idiot would throw it in the water. That was it all playful, right? Because it doesn't hurt the glass. So why not throw it in the river? Because it's gonna be fun.
seen so much glass come out of that factory so quickly in such odd freehand shapes. And all of us were surprised as well. And using the river and the glass together, I mean, it was a surprise. Things just kept flowing. There was an osmosis of, hot glass to the river, and back to the courtyard out in front of the factory. And it was, I mean, that was probably the most intense 20 days of my life.
Yeah, there goes the last piece of glass. Oh. 19 minutes, 7 seconds. Good, we're under 20. All right. Right here on the side. Wow. Whoa. Look at that.
The whole project is centered around the river. And it's made me think about, how important the water is to my work. Or maybe as important as it is to my being. I think water is extraordinarily creative. And I find that I'm always drawn to water.
This is where it's all happening down here in the river. Some things coming out of those rocks would be nice.
I had no idea what we'd do. I really didn't. I mean, I think we had, 4 glass blowers originally we were going to bring. But then 3 weeks ago when it started really coming down, and I started doing the drawings. And so I was making the drawings, thinking about the project, and then adding people, like daily. I don't know, Finland. Seemed like a good idea. And it has been a great spot to do this in.
Woo, wow, is that lightweight. Man. Ooh. But that's, you still didn't do it like this one. Why don't you take some out of here?
All right.
I kind of like seeing the points, and you don't see any points here. All right? The idea is to have them cross, remember? That's how it started.
I think to get that, we got to go up a little higher.
Well, I don't know what you built. Did you do it super low?
Yeah, very well.
Well, I didn't say to go very, very low. I just said go lower.
Okay.
Maybe you're just using more of these than you need to. Take some of those off. Let me look at them. I know you're wasting our spears. Whoops. Don't let me handle it. That village was so cool. See, that's what I loved about the idea of the physicality of the river, the factory, the dining hall, the bar, the house, the sauna. It was like you could go on. It was like
could go on forever just because it was such a beautiful route. And it was a very creative feeling.
I did feel that in Finland there was a sense of Dale's essence came out, his essence as an artist primarily. You know, there was something that he perhaps recovered in himself also that had been sleeping. And I don't think he ever expected that to happen either. In fact, he went into it with no expectations, and he was feeling a certain amount of trepidation about it.
How full do you want the piece is, Dale?
We've never done a chandelier that looked like this. So, I mean, that's one of the things you get when you come on location like this. You don't know what the hell you're going to make. But of course, they probably did make at one time a Venetian chandelier this large. I've never seen one this big in any palazzo. But dimension-wise, we're looking at maybe 12 feet wide. I would imagine somebody made a chandelier this big in Venice at some time. I don't even know what I'm going to make this morning, and we're going to start blowing in 40 minutes. And I got 3 crews working out there, about 20 people up on the pad, and another 10 people down below that has to take the glass to the ovens and put it in the annealers and wrap it up. And so, you know, I'm going to decide just before we start blowing what I want to make. I talked to Martin about it last night, but knowing me, I'll change my mind before he starts this morning.
First, we were just talking about a chandelier. So chandeliers, one almost forgets about the chandelier because it's, you know, which one of them and what else, and all these other pieces. It's growing like, you know, it's organically growing the whole thing. It's filling the place, and it's like this movie from Vietnam War. You get the feeling of you know, the riverside growing. It's the growing like the green grass is growing in early summer in Finland right now.
I like the sound of that in the morning. The click of the cannon. Look at that. Yeah.
Anybody who hears me, please let's get more people down here because we have no count of this stuff. We need to catch it before it gets into the lake. Please, somebody get down here. Over. I think that, you know, if you want to play this kind of game, you have to be ready for it, and maybe we weren't quite ready. And that's always a delicate. I think that the most exciting thing about things like that is when you really walk the balance just on the line. That's, I think, really, that's the game. I think. Knowing how to let it go just far enough so that there's that even if you're teetering on the other side of the edge, there's a way back. And yet at the same time being able to let it go almost to the edge, because otherwise you don't get as much of the exciting part. Let Tom go to the block room.
Actually, a little faster on the instruction.
We're just trying to get this thing under control.
Also, you can use Mark McDonald. He's in the dining room.
You know, if we staged this properly, this wouldn't have to be just a, you know what?
It's not all theater, Charlie. We got to do it when it's happening. It's happening now.
How crazy was it really there in UTR? I mean, I was like feeling pretty alone out there. You know, I mean, I was like out there in the morning with nobody with me. I mean, what I'm saying is that nobody seems to get any kind of urgency that I want to get this like down and out. You know, I mean, what they want to talk about packing it up today, that's the only conversation I can get out of anybody. We'll talk about packing it up tonight. Let's talk about getting it up today.
I mean, it was there was all of this pent-up energy. I mean, short on sleep as a lot of people were, but getting up at 4:30, I met Dale, and I'd load up my vest with 30 rolls of film. And then by 10 o'clock that morning, I was almost out. And this stuff was done. But it was sort of a cathartic release.
Those pups were the most alive-looking thing that we had made. I mean, they really looked organic and real. So once I was up on the rock, maybe it was like they were drying out and they needed to get back in the water. So I threw them in. Yes. Yeah. And, boy, look at that green field. And first of all, they're a lot of fun to throw in. I mean, the noise that they'd make. Boom! Pow!
Yeah!
And of course, I've never done anything like this, so I don't know. But I can tell you, it was very enjoyable to be on the water in the canoe. It was a great place to think about what the hell I wanted to do. I suppose at any time I could have said to myself, oh, this is just too weird. I'm putting glass on a house, you're building this, you're building that. I suppose it'd be easy to just say, the hell with it, I don't want to do this. I mean, because who knows whether it's going to be successful or not, or whether it's going to be a good experience. You know, and I can hardly evaluate it now, really. But we did it. I mean, we actually did everything that I wanted to do. And then some.
looking good, looking good. That's a nice shape. Now hang it down. Blow. Those could be the in-between parts for the other ones. I like the first mold better, but let's try a few more of those.
Tomorrow we're going to try and move all the glass to Lismore. What we're not going to move, we're going to install a dolmen that's going to stay there overnight in Waterford. Since it's the first installation that we've done outside with Chilhuly, and he's very anxious to work with the stones. They're ancient burial mounds, so it's really important that we respect that.
Things were coming off, you know, that'd be a wild chandelier.
So what I've just had him do is start up with a chandelier post, so that I don't have to worry about the double neck, and then I can make my
What's going to be the problem there is you don't want it to, well, the thickness up there is going to be the big problem. All right. With that post, don't you think? That's okay. We'll live with that, but.
Well, at least the thickness will give it some stability. I think that these guys are, you can see they're pretty good at these bubble starts.
It's got to be strong up there anyway.
Exactly.
So you could have a chandelier as few as like 50 parts with these crazy things coming off.
Beautiful. Really good. We'll work on it, baby. I love you.
I think it was around 1983. I was at the Rhode Island School of Design, and Martin was a student there. And so Martin assisted, and then I think I went back again, and he assisted again. When he got his BFA, he wrote me a letter or called me up and said, I'd like you to come out and work for it. And I said, all right, you can come out for 1 3-week blow. So he showed up, and I saw right away after about a week that the kid had really good hands. More importantly, he was very creative. So I pulled him aside and said, look, instead of working on the regular team, I'm going to put you over in the corner and give you an assistant and see what you can do. I'll make drawings for you, I said.
Wow.
So Martin built my hot shop for me down in Seattle. He headed that hot shop up. We hired about 5 glass blowers to work full time. And I had him only experiment. For the first year, all he did was blow experimental glass on a new series called Persians. And he was, you know, he was and is very creative, very, you know, energetic and interested in experimental things, working on the edge. All of the things that I like in a glass blower.
Turn, Tommy, turn. Turn, Tommy. Good, slow down now. Good, nice job. It's happening. It's just sort of, I was lying in bed and I couldn't sleep. I said, now, if I drill a hole in it and then let it make a long, maybe I can make like a giant lily and it'll flare and might make it. Watch the fold. Let it close up there. It's sort of one fluid motion. If you don't get it in one, you have to peel it open while it's still wiggling, squeeze it in and pull out and get that whole trumpet started, and then watch it, because if it's not all glowing the same intensity, it's never going to work. And then, you know, and I can see Tommy, you know, Tommy's just cranking on it to keep it going. And then I'm watching it and then go, and then I have to reach down and grab it and pull it just at the right time, because if there's no heat left, it won't make the shape.
This is completely different
to what we have ever done, but it's helped to open our minds and see glass making in a way that we never thought possible. Like today, we saw things where we open up gathers, making shapes. That was, to me, was mind-boggling. It was fabulous to see. And for all the people who were involved in it, it was a tremendous experience.
I've never witnessed this kind of thing before. It's fantastic. We never realized how well both teams joined together. Really, you know, and a lot of us were in relation to how are you going to get this long 8-foot lengths of glass when we say ours is 33% lead crystal. But I must say, it turned out bloody well.
The main project for today is to erect a great big armature to hang a chandelier from inside the courtyard. And I think the objective there is to locate it in a place that the point of view really, you know, takes advantage of the castle roof line and, you know, hopefully come up with some very nice photographs. The other thing here is that when the base is put on, you know, it seems it's really stabilized. Yeah.
All right. I'll hold this one. Hand me another one of those gizmos. If we had it like that, and then this one out like this. And the next one would be occur where? Out
Back
here?
up there.
You'd have to change the way you're doing it from this point up. You could leave
Yeah.
the ones you already have.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
good.
Amethyst. Purple.
The one I'm doing now is the one that's inspired by the basket era of, say, Chilhuly himself. I had a look at the book, and it's what the original efforts on the first day we met. He was trying to tell me that this is what he was looking for. It took me a while to get the grasp of it, but I have it now, and we're doing a number of those ones today that he'll be able to include them on his chandelier. They've come out pretty well in the dip. I was a bit worried and concerned about it, but it gives the kind of basket effect from that era itself. And after looking at this, I'll say to you is that there's our purple haze over water crystal, inspired by Mr. Chilhuly. Oh, Seamus, looking good. You're happy with that one? Gorgeous.
It's like the rain and the moon.
Let's give me
Have you done some with what do you call these again?
olives.
Have you done any with just the olives?
Yes, I'm going to do a few more of them like that now, you know, kind of. And I'm going to concentrate on that sort of effect now. Say, do what we've got left. You know what you were saying to us originally? And just do plain olives straight up the way then. So I've got a number of them done down below. If you're free, anytime you want to come down today, come down and browse through and have a look at it.
Brilliant, as they say.
All right.
Great.
I'm delighted. I'm really happy about it.
Keep it up.
Thanks. That's great.
This guy's fabulous. This guy's a cut.
Thanks.
He's a hell of a cutter.
They said he's the Chihuly of this factory.
Gee, you say all the right things. Thanks very much, lads. See you later on.
Shemmy cut straight lines for 25 years, you know, and then you come in there and go, make a curve, Shemmy, and he's like, you gotta be kidding me, Dale, you know, and he's like, I haven't had so much fun, and, you know, he got to be an artist, you know, he got to feel and move the material, and Tommy caught all the guys, I mean, all they did was they blow it, put it in the mold, blow it, and put it in the mold, and, you know, like, why did I go? Why did I go and bust my ass? I mean, I suffered for weeks by the time when I got home, and but because it's like, it's creativity, it's spontaneity, it's juice, it's life juice. We're there, we're working, we're alive. I mean, I felt so awake, I had no sleep, but it was like, let's go, you know, and we're like, zoom, you know, and we're awake. We're really awake and we're watching, and each piece is different.
went to Finland and had no idea what we were going to make, and we ended up making things going out into the river. Went to Ireland, then I picked the concept to go into the castle, you know, thinking that I wanted it to be Irish and I wanted it to be different than Finland. Coming to Mexico, I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted it simpler, so I decided that I'd put it in the factory. I want each chandelier or floral chandeliers to be from the country that they were made in. So Mexico, I want them to look like Mexican ones. Finland, Finnish. Irish, Irish. Now that's Irish in my own mind, not necessarily what somebody else would consider Irish, but I feel that I don't want to come down here to Mexico to make what I can make in my own shop. I mean, I would prefer to have it, to learn from the experience. And the incredible thing is we learned far more than I ever thought we would. I mean, as you know, the concept started out about we're going to go to make chandeliers in 5 countries. We're going to make a movie, you know, and then that was the concept. That was enough. Chandeliers over, you know, over Venice. That somehow concept came. I don't even know where it came from. Probably from somebody else. And somehow that idea stuck in my mind. And then I went with that without really knowing anything else. You know, it's like I do that. I get an idea and I just go with it. As the idea unfolds, as the project unfolds, the idea unfolds. Now cut that in half. Hang it down. Now that's probably the fastest one you've done today, huh? That's a nice piece. No reheats, no molds, no nothing. It's a nice finish. You're done. Let me see it. Hold it up. The only way that those would probably work is if they were hung this way.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that knows more about color than Dale. 15 or 20 years ago, there were basically a couple primary colors that Americans worked with. And Dale was pretty much the pioneer to start to mix solid colors with what we call powders, or what we call jimmies, which are little tiny pieces like sizes of gravel, mixing it all together, mixing opaque with transparent. And basically when you have those 4 or 5 different ways of working and you mix it all together, he's pretty much come up with an infinite number of colors and ways of getting light to go through the piece, making him transparent at the bottom, opaque at the top. I mean, he's constantly reversing and switching around all these things that different colors do. And probably in the history of glass, no one's done that to the level and the extent that Dale has.
Kind of a long one here. You get all of this beautiful concrete. Oh, look at you, got more of them over there. Da, 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 da. Look at that. You can go, look at that big thing there.
One of the old chimneys.
I love that. It's still being used? Yep. All right, here we go now. glass blowing's a little like making a drawing. Make the piece, get it done, and finish it. And that's really the style that I've developed in the glass. It's the same style that I do when I draw. Probably what I do a lot of things. It's like it's one-off, fast, quick. And for glass blowing, it's a great, medium and a great craft that really always revolved around precision. They didn't take advantage of this sort of liquid, organic quality that glass has. Because in order to do that, every piece has to be a decision. The glass blower has to make a decision every time he does something.
So many ways to do it.
That's what I was trying to do with Rick today, to get him so that he could come down, put the neck on the ball, pull it out, and take what he gets. That way you just go with this, wonderful material the way it wants to be.
We're very, very honored to be part of that Chihuly Over Venice, and I think it's fantastic, and it is very, very important for the glass world. It's been great to have Dales and his team around. All them are very, very professional. In fact, actually, I feel he's the most professional glass artist around the world. He's doing very well. We all are very happy at the Glass Museum, at the factory. The workers of the factory, everything is new for them. Seems like Dale and his teams are opening their minds. They are growing. They are getting much better, more skill, and now they have another idea of what they can do with glass.
To think that we made this in one afternoon is pretty incredible. And that satisfaction of making it piece by piece and then seeing it up within 24 hours is just thrilling. Because usually it's just one object at a time, and then it gets shipped off to Quadrant or something and we don't see it. But here, to be able to see the piece come together completely within 24 hours is amazing. We made that yesterday. That's incredible. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Look at those red pieces.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Everybody who works with Dale and for Dale is very talented, because we have to have a vision that is cohesive. Everybody contributes to that. Everybody adds their little bit, whatever that is. And that to me is really exciting, because none of this could happen without every person that's in there. And that's the best part,
Right now, you're in the Tacoma Joy building. This is one of two buildings that Chihuly has here. The Joy building is going to be the send-off place for Chihuly Over Venice. Basically, all the parts will be leaving here. They'll all be boxed here. This is primarily, this building is all the shipping, all the large containers, all the large 40-foot trucks. We take a look at the parts. We register the parts, and then we coat the parts. Some parts have to be re-annealed, and some of them have to be cold worked. Here we have it, straight from Finland. After we coat the parts, we'll send it up to be mocked up in Seattle, brought back, and be ready to be sent out of here next month, about the 15th of next month, for Venice.
We've made 3 trips to Venice so far in preparation for this project. After Ireland, we went to Mexico, and after Mexico, we went back to Venice to meet more seriously with the Minister of Culture.
And I have to confess that I was completely far from the idea of holding a glass exhibition of contemporary art in Venice.
So we're writing letters back and forth with the minister's office. We're involved, I guess, with several different departments in Venice, Department of Public Works and historical sites and so forth, who all have to give their okay on what we're doing.
This has been the first time in the history of Venetian bureaucracy since probably the year 800 after Christ that we succeeded in having passed a plan on the basis of pictures that at the end we obtained or we extorted from Dale with some sort of chandeliers drawn by hand, hanging here and there. But they were happy and content with it, and they gave us the authorization on that basis. So that's really a good point for Dale capability of persuading the bureaucracy.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it. What about the blue one? Well, we want this one to go. This red one, that red one, that red one. So there, we got that. Now we're going to forget the clear one.
Over there with this one.
Those are the rejects.
Yeah.
Mexico. All right. So now we do Mexico. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. That's only before though. The way we were talking. See, I was thinking like, how would it look if here we are in this little plaza. It's only about this big, and here's a canal going by here. A beautiful bridge coming down there. Remember the ones with the steps going curved like that? All right. So then the canal goes by here.
Isn't that beautiful, this?
Now, why is it so beautiful here?
I like the little bridge here with the stars.
And the way the steps come down on the bridge. Yeah. Let's say that we went over there with, let's just say, Noel, we went over there with 20. We only have room for 10. But let's say we put up the 10 and we got some time, and now we can start doing more. They start saying to us, okay, you can hang some more.
And we know of a few where we can hang them up semi-permanently. They can stay up for several weeks, and we're still going to have sites that we can.
See, Barry in Venice, you know where they build the gondolas on the Dorsa door. There's one spot where they repair the gondolas. Now that has a ramp going up to it. Let's say you had 100 of those, or 500 of those. Yeah, just throw them up there and half in the water and half on the thing. Or do we need to do any of that?
I don't think we need to do it. I mean, it sounds charming, but I don't know if it means
It means decorative.
Yeah.
I mean, my gut has told me, feeling all along was, it's, chandeliers over Venice. That's what. And there's all that water there. We could do a lot of different things.
Okay, go ahead.
back here would be better, huh? You know, much of this project just sort of happened, you know, in terms of conceptually, as much of my work does. Just like the first chandelier I made just sort of happened. You know, I saw a chandelier in Spain, and then I made one, and, you know, and I made something, and it was done very quickly. I think we made the whole thing in about a week. And there it was, a big chandelier, 10 feet high, 500 pieces. So that was the beginning of the chandeliers, and this project just sort of started off by, you know, Chihuly Over Venice, chandeliers hanging in Venice. Let's go to all these different countries and then take them all to Venice. It really was, you know, not knowing, of course, whether I ever would really do it. It was just an idea. So we started by going to the first country, Finland. And then that was so, you know, inspiring and so interesting and so unusual and different from anything I'd ever done, that we then went on to the next country, Ireland, and then Mexico, and brought all those chandeliers, put them in all those containers that you see on the other side of Venice. 4 different shipments have come in, unpacked. Fortunately, they gave us a warehouse, a Magazzina di Sale, which warehouses that were built 100 years before Columbus.
It's sort of the war room of the Chihuly Over Venice. As you can see, we have our maps, we have our site
plan. These are the various chandeliers that have been made in Mexico and Ireland and Finland. We have the poundage, we have the pieces, so we know we can figure out what sort of armatures to have. And from here, plan out all of our projects and organize all of our tools, cut pipe.
That's a big operation, and takes a lot of people that know what they're doing. And it's hard to imagine that you could have, 6 containers, 5,000 pieces of glass. I don't know. It must be 500 crates of glass, and then all the other structures and everything else that's needed to make this happen. And it is, when you see it in the magazine, it is, you wonder kind of how we did this, but somehow we did it. And we started the idea, we went with the idea, and here we are with things going up. All right, all right.
What's happening is that these two gentlemen here, the project, we wouldn't be able to do it without these two guys, and they've been incredible, Nicola and Francesco. And so this is sort of just a symbolic gesture to let these guys participate in the installing of the work. And we just thought it was a nice thing to do.
Glass is a performance art. That's an important part of it. And I think one of the great things, in fact, is that the crew, in the crew's mind, they feel they fell behind in making their target dates for getting the pieces up. But I think it's the best thing that could have happened, because now all the collectors, all the art world is here, and they can see the pieces going up in that part of the performance. But I hate to call it a performance because I don't want to restrict it. I think there's something really interesting happening between Dale's control of the media, because he controls the media, and then Dale's control of the performance. And the aesthetic of the objects, the Russell Johnson's photos will be like abstract paintings when they're completed. All of that, I would hope, would kind of go beyond performance art into something else, like some kind of merger of media.
There's hundreds of factories on this little island, which is about a mile long. So I don't know how long they've been blowing glass here, but about 1,200 years. But there's still great glass blowers here, and we're going to see a couple of them working today. We're going to work in Pino's shop and have Pino and Lino working there. They're going to be working separately, side by side, making chandelier parts. And from that, we'll try to make a nice piece. Working with Pino and Lino together or separately is an extraordinary experience. I mean, you're talking about two of the most gifted glassblowers, not just in the 20th century, but I think in all times. I mean, I think these two of the really extraordinary masters in the history of glass.
Dale has put so much back in his work and his life and his art into all the people he's traveled with. And I think, the epitome of it is coming back to Venice and Murano, where it all kind of started for him in '68 with his Fulbright, and giving so much back to the city and the people that shared a secret with him.
It means a lot to me to come back here. It is, probably is in a funny way where I started, because I really saw the teamwork. I think that, the time spent by myself was very important, because I spent most of that year alone. And it was a couple of years later that I had my first show with Jamie Carpenter at the American Craft Museum. And I somehow think this time spent at Venice was very important to that development. There was just something about glass, the transparency,
Yes.
that you could melt it and fuse it and cut it. And it's such a strange material if you think about it. There's no other material where the colors are really,
Hey, having them coming out the window would look good. Just with no people, just having them coming out the window. Might that not look good?
If you're walking down the beach and you're with a little kid, or anybody probably for that matter, let's say you put a little piece of red glass down on the ground, or blue, or even a piece of bottle glass, green, you watch that kid, he'll run to that piece of glass and pick it up. There's nothing, I don't care what you lay on the beach, nothing would attract somebody's attention more than a piece of glass.
Oh, here we go. 1, 2.
Ni veugevo leis anamagam guseniriana chanushia nune sono segnali gushni no